Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another meal prep video for you. Today we are going to be doing the ultimate meal prep to make motherhood just a little bit easier and to save me lots of time throughout the week. So I'm going to be working on prepping a lot of ground beef just so I can pull it right out of the freezer and it's just all ready to go. It's going to save me so much time in the long run, so I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm also going to be working with lots of fresh produce, fruits and veggies. I realized that I can actually make this a lot easier on myself, so I'm going to be prepping some of those today, and I figured out how to make them last a little bit longer, so I'm going to be sharing that with you guys today. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that little red subscribe button. I would love to have you. I do all things food related on this channel, so if that is something you are interested in, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. But let's go ahead and get right into the meal prep. So to start off this meal prep, I'm going to be getting some ground beef ready to go. I'm going to be doing just some cooked ground beef for in the freezer, some meatballs, some hamburger patties, and one of the things that I really like to include in all of those is some onion. I was able to get some from my sister-in-law's garden because, as we all know, there was a big recall on onions, so I had been missing them, but I was really happy to get some back so that I could incorporate it into my ground beef. So into my Dutch oven pot here, I'm adding in about 4 pounds of ground beef. I got it on sale at the store. It was $3.50 a pound, which is a pretty good deal for right now on ground beef. I'm just throwing all of that in there with some onion. And then I do like to add in a little bit of seasoning. I usually will just add in some black pepper and some garlic powder, a little bit of salt, and that's all I do for ground beef. And I'm just cooking this up. The Dutch oven is hands down my favorite way to cook my ground beef. It just cooks it very evenly and it just turns out really good in this pot. So I'm just going to be cooking this up fully, and then this is actually going to get stored in Ziplocs, and this is just going to be ready for me to pull out on the drop of a hat when I need something really quick for dinner. If you have never done this, it is hands down the easiest and the best way to have ground beef ready to go in your freezer. Think of things like for spaghetti, tacos. Your ground beef is all cooked and ready to go. I just like to store it in quart Ziplocs. I usually will add in about a couple cups. So this was 4 pounds of ground beef, so I just knew to divide it into 4 little Ziplocs. Now this is seriously a lifesaver. I will just take this out of my freezer completely frozen and throw it onto a plate into my microwave for about 3 minutes, and I have completely cooked ground beef ready to go for a meal at any given time. This is what my parents always used to do, and I definitely will always continue to do this. It saves me so much time in the long run, and I really enjoy not having to cook ground beef every single time. I try to get out as much of the air as possible, and then I will seal them and press them flat so they're just even quicker to thaw out. This thaws out so much quicker than raw ground beef. If you are a busy mom or just anyone that likes to save some time, this is one of the best hacks that I have found. You can use it in so many different recipes, and it's just so handy to have on hand. The next item that I'm going to be prepping ahead of time is 3 pounds of ground beef. I'm just going to be turning this right into meatballs. This was a great time to make some homemade meatballs since I got this ground beef on sale. So I'm just throwing all of that into my bowl, and I'm adding in probably about half a cup of onion. You do want to make sure that it's pretty finely chopped for this. And then I'm also adding in about half a cup of Italian panko breadcrumbs. For seasonings, you can really play around with this, but I kept it pretty simple with some onion powder, some garlic powder, lots of parsley, and then I also added in a little bit of Italian seasoning. I did make these more of an Italian meatball, but I didn't add very much. I kept it pretty mild because I wanted to be able to use them for a variety of things. And then of course I did also add in some salt and pepper. I'm adding in 1 egg to kind of help bind everything together, and then I'm just going to be giving this a really good mix with my hands. You guys already know I do not like touching ground beef, but there's something about this, you pretty much just have to mix it with your hands. A spoon really just doesn't cut it when you're trying to mix all of this together. So I'm just mixing it all together really well, and then I'm going to be forming it all into meatballs. You can store these meatballs in a variety of ways, but I wanted to do a little bit of both for different things. So I decided to have some of my meatballs pre-cooked and ready to go in my freezer so I can just pull them out and microwave them for a couple minutes and they would be good to go for a quick lunch. And then on my other sheet, I decided to have them ready to go, but they would be raw. So these would be great for throwing into a crock pot or baking in the oven. Anything like that would be perfect. So the sheet that has the wax paper, those are the ones that I'm just going to flash freeze completely raw. And then the other sheet is going to be the ones that I actually bake in the oven. I always use a cookie dough scooper to scoop out my meatballs. It gets them all to be about the same size. It's just so much quicker and faster in my opinion. And then once I have them all on my sheets, then I will go ahead and actually roll out the balls into actual ball forms instead of just little blobs on my paper. I do sometimes get the pre-made frozen meatballs at the store, and it's so much easier that way. But I have to be honest, when I look at the back of the bag, the ingredients on them are not that great. There's definitely some things that make you question why is that in your meatball. So I love making them at home and knowing exactly what is in them. I can really control the seasoning, also the amount of salt that is in them, which is important to me with my kids. I just don't want them having a lot of junky ingredients. So making the meatballs like this, it makes it super convenient for me later on, and I just have to prep all of them at one time. So this is what they look like. I'm taking the one pan and throwing it right into the oven. I'm baking these at 400 for about 20 minutes. Just make sure that they are completely cooked through, and then you're gonna let them cool off when they come out. This is what they look like. I just let them completely cool before actually freezing them. And then here I'm just going to toss them right into a freezer bag. So these are the meatballs that you can basically just pull out of the freezer, throw onto a plate, and these can just get thrown into your microwave for just a couple of minutes, and you're gonna have perfectly cooked meatballs that are really, really quick and easy. And then these meatballs are the ones that are raw. I a lot of times will use these in my crock pot, or I can throw them right into the oven and bake them that way. Either way is great, and they're still all prepped and ready to go. And while I was on the kick of getting all of my ground beef done, I figured I would just make up some burgers for the freezer with this extra pound of ground beef. I just added on a little bit of steak seasoning, some garlic powder, as well as some of that chopped up onion. And I'm just getting all of this mixed together again with my hands because it's so much easier for me. And these are gonna be super great. I'm actually gonna be taking these camping with us in just a few weeks, and it's just gonna be great for a quick, easy dinner. Again, you can get pre-made burgers from the store, but sometimes they're just filled with some ingredients that are not so great for you. So I'm just gonna flash freeze these. I'm throwing on a piece of parchment paper, and I decided to make these burgers a little bit bigger, so they're gonna be 1/3 pound burgers. It's a pretty good sized burger. One thing that I always do when I'm making my burger patties is I kind of press out the inside and make some indentations there. This will help them from getting really thick by doing that. So I'm just getting all of these ready to go, and then they're gonna get thrown right into my freezer and frozen for a few hours, and then I will just throw them right into a Ziploc bag. And now it is time to work on all of my fresh produce. So I'm starting off by working with the blueberries. So I'm just getting these rinsed off a little bit in just the strainer part of my salad spinner. And then I'm gonna be adding in that bowl underneath. And I'm actually just gonna fill these up with some really nice cold water. And I'm also adding in just a little splash of vinegar. And I'm letting them soak there for about like 5 or 10 minutes to just kind of help kill off any bacteria, get off any of that extra dirt. Once they've been sitting there, I'm giving them a really good mix, and then it's gonna be time to actually spin them out in the salad spinner. This is really gonna help dry them off, and it's gonna help them last a lot longer. So this is the salad spinner that I'm using. It is actually the OXO brand one. I've seen this on so many YouTube channels, especially Jen Chapin. She uses hers all the time, and I absolutely have been eyeing it for forever, and I finally made the investment and got it, and I have to say it has been a really great investment. It does an amazing job on both fruits and vegetables. It saved tons of time, and I just feel like our produce gets a little bit cleaner, it gets dried off better, and it just makes everything so much more convenient. Another food item that I like to have prepped and ready to go is all of our peppers. If you guys watch any of my grocery hauls, you probably already know this, but I pretty much buy these peppers every single week. My son absolutely loves peppers, so I love giving them to him for a snack. I also cook with them a ton in just tons of recipes. So when I have them prepped and ready to go in my fridge, it's just so much easier, so much faster for me. And it also makes it easier for me to give my son a healthy snack. So a lot of times I will give him like some peppers, some carrots with just a little bit of ranch or hummus. And it's a great, quick, easy, and healthy snack for him. So by just prepping these ahead of time and having them ready to go, it is so much easier for me in the long run. And I find that peppers are very hardy to store. I just throw them right into my glass container, and we usually go through them in about like 4 or 5 days, and they last just fine. I've never really had any issues as far as that goes. So now we are moving on to prepping some of my lettuce. So this is just a head of romaine lettuce. This is what I typically will always have in our house for the most part. I'm just getting this roughly chopped up, and this is gonna go right into my salad spinner, and I'm actually just gonna let it soak for a little bit. This has been the best, having this salad spinner, because for the longest time I would have to wash our lettuce right before we ate dinner, and then it would be a little bit like waterlogged because it didn't get properly dried off. But doing it this way is just so much more convenient. We have salad in the fridge ready to go at all times, so it's definitely a great option if you just need the convenience of a really quick and easy vegetable for dinners. Definitely recommend trying out this salad spinner. I'm gonna have it linked down below for you guys. I just ordered mine off of Amazon, and it has been the best thing ever. There's a reason that so many people talk about this one. It is absolutely fabulous. that is actually going to be the last item that I am prepping today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It helps out my videos a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to hit that little subscribe button. I do post new videos every single week. I post a what's for dinner every single Sunday and tons of other food related content. So if that is something that you are interested in, don't forget to hit that little red subscribe button. But that is going to be it for today's video. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.